Hi, it's Leslie. This video I decided I'll talk about pretty much before and after my bowel resection I had back in May of this year. Pretty much just the before and after of my quality of life, then and now, so to speak. So pretty much around this time last year in 2009, I started getting really bad flare-up. Pain all the time. I was having to call out of work. The stress was really bad. I was on Immuran at the time, and that seemed to be working okay. I'm not a big fan of needles, even though I have 5 tattoos and a couple of piercings, so go figure. But wasn't a fan. One of my friends at the time was helping, give me the injections and everything. That was going well until, like per usual, my body agrees with the drug for a while, and then it goes screw it and decides I don't want to work anymore, and I'm not accepting this anymore. So in September, too, when I went to see my GI when the first really bad flare-up was starting, I weighed 151 pounds at the time. So slowly throughout all this, my weight began to decrease. And at first I thought it was great, but later on it got really scary and shocking about how much I lost. So it was getting pretty bad throughout the months, and Immuran stopped doing its thing around the end of October actually. My doctor switched me to Cimzia, which is another injectable, and I was getting that twice per month actually, and then I was on a combination of Immuran. So I was taking the Immuran twice a day and getting the Cimzia shots 2 times once a month. So I also, at that time, knew that the holidays were coming. I felt like shit and pretty much knew I wasn't going to be able to handle the stress. I work retail, so I had my doctor write me a note that got me out of November and December, which was awesome, so I didn't have to deal with any of the holiday BS that the shoppers put on me. But I missed working. Pretty much during that time, they also finally gave me pain management, which is something I'd fought for a very long time. And finally, my doctor decided to put me on Vicodin, which helped. So at that time, food pretty much became the enemy. Anything I ate was causing me pain. The drugs I was taking weren't helping. Going to the bathroom, blood in the toilet. It was, it was bad. Wasn't having a good time. And so around Thanksgiving came, and I remember only being able to eat a little bit of turkey, a little bit of stuffing, and a little bit of yams. And people who know me know that I love Thanksgiving. That is one of the best, that's in my holiday top 5, probably top 3. And so, yeah, ate that and spent the night throwing up, and yeah, didn't sleep at all. Couldn't sleep. I hadn't slept well since everything, so, that was the first night I stayed up. Couldn't sleep at all. Laying down hurts. So, the next night, the night of the 26th, I was actually able to sleep all through the night. But that's because I was awake all through the night and the next day. So, that was going on. And pretty much my quality of life became laying on the couch, in pain, pure misery, pretty much drinking Ensures, vanilla milkshake flavor, of course, and popping Vicodin hand over fist. It sucked. So I went back to work because I did start to feel a little bit better. I went back to work in mid-January, and things were okay for a while, and then, yeah, it went to hell. Everyone was like, oh, you look so great, you look fabulous, you lost a lot of weight, what were you doing, how did you do it? It's like, a diet of Vicodin and Ensure, yeah, it'll help. I hated food. I would want to get rid of the food in our cabinets and our fridge. I hated it. If I saw a food commercial, I wanted it gone. The Food Network, I didn't want to see it, didn't want to hear about it, didn't want to see anything about food. Food equaled pain, so I didn't want to deal with it. So then, around February, I was starting to get really bad again, and then I also noticed I am trying to eat and do my best. I found foods that work for me, usually Asian food, rice, and just chicken. That sort of helped. It didn't really it caused me pain, but it didn't cause me that much pain, so I was eating that, and still though I knew I was losing weight drastically. And at first you're like, hey, I'm getting skinny, I look good, woohoo, you know, because I've always been on chunky my entire life. So, I mean, this was kind of new for me. I mean, putting on a size 7 in juniors, you're like, ooh. And then by the time I had my surgery, I was down to a size 5. And at first I was like, hey, but then one day I took a look at myself in the mirror before I got in the shower one day, and it really occurred to me, I'm really sick. I can see every bone poking out of my body. I can see my rib cage, my hip bones, all my breast tissue gone, my hips gone. I didn't look like a girl. I looked like a 12-year-old boy, and that really hurt. So, I mean, you know, this disease robs you of a lot of things, and so it doesn't, you know, you're a girl, you have to admit you're vain. If you're not vain, you know, you're lying. You have a little bit of vanity. Everyone does. Everyone wants to look good. So, I mean, seeing that just pretty much sucked. It robs you of your quality of life. It robs you of your looks. It robs you of your social life. It robs everything. So, that's when I really decided there's something terribly wrong, and I made an emergency appointment with my GI doctor and told him, look, the drugs you're putting me on aren't working. I can't eat. I can't sleep. I'm in hell. I have to go behind the stock rooms in my job and just wallow in pain. I can't help customers. I can't do my job properly. I just want to crawl into a hole somewhere and die. So my GI doctor decided, you know, he's like, well, we have 2 options. We can do surgery, or I can put you on this other drug. I can't remember the name of it right now. But he said we could put you on this drug, and in a few cases it caused neurological damage. So, yeah, decided on the surgery, and I talked about it with members of the Crohn's Disease Social Network, and they gave me a lot of support, and I decided, you know, I really didn't want to at first. I was like, maybe he can find another drug that won't screw up my brain, and I won't need to have a scar. But I knew eventually in my life I was going to have a surgery. Everyone I talked to on this Crohn's Disease Social Network said, I've had surgeries. So if you've lived your life and had Crohn's and you're how old and never had a surgery, congrats to you. That's amazing. Because I talked to people on there who've had like 7, 8 surgeries, and I couldn't even believe it. So I decided, after talking to everybody, my family, and realizing, you know, everyone said this will improve your quality of your life. You'll put you in remission, maybe into a year or more. Might be shorter than that, but I was willing to just go ahead and go through with it. So, I mean, I wasn't even nervous, wasn't even worried. I did cry a little bit the day of surgery when I was saying goodbye to my mom and my boyfriend. But then, other than that, I was fully prepared to have this done and be rid of it. And just, I wanted to be able to sleep on my side again. I wanted to be able to at least eat, you know, food. I didn't want to have to be a pill popper. My boyfriend was giving me the nickname House because of the amount of Vicodin I was having to take just to get through a day. So, had the surgery. I had a bowel resection. They removed my ileum, my sepum, and my appendix just because it was right there. So they threw that in. What the hell? So it was all from my small intestine. And I don't know how much of it was removed. And I didn't get to see it. Which, I know it would be gross, but I'm curious. I want to see how jacked up my body was. And, but, so, you know, you're all doped up on pain meds. You don't really think to ask some of these questions when your surgeon's coming in and checking on you every day. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll ask my GI doctor when I go see him in the near future if he knows how much or if he has any photos. So, surgery went well. Woke up, was horrible. because, I mean, I was in immediate pain. I was hoping maybe I would have been hooked up to the pain meds before, but no, they were I woke up just as they were getting everything hooked up to me, and that was one thing I was afraid of, waking up and being in tremendous pain, and it was tremendous. I was kind of regretting at that moment, why did I decide to have this surgery? But then, you know, once they get the dilaudid flowing in you feel a lot better. So then, yeah, so I was in the hospital for 8 days. They said at the most I would be in there was for 5. But, I mean, everything was going well. My incision looked great. They didn't use staples, so I was so thankful for that. He just used glue and steri strips on the outside. So now I have a 4.5 inch scar from the bottom of my navel to the top of my private area, I guess. And so, yeah, so I had a few setbacks. When they took me off of the pain pump, they put me on Percocets, which was fine. The first day I took them, it was okay. I dealt with it. Then the next morning I woke up and I was feeling a little crappy, and I hadn't eaten breakfast yet, and I was in pain, so they gave me the Percocets on an empty stomach, and second biggest fear is I didn't want to throw up after having the surgery. Yeah, threw up. Big time. It sucked. If you've ever had surgery or anything happen to you abdominally and you throw up, cough, sneeze, it sucks. It's not fun. So that was my big fear. I started bawling my eyes out as I could feel the vomit rising. I knew I was screwed. So they didn't know if it was because of the Percocets or because something was going on internally. It turned out to be the Percocets. The nurse gave it to me on empty stomach, so that was her bad. Anywho, then I got put on Norcos the next day. And one of the major things is when you have a bowel surgery is they want you to fart and poo, pretty much, before you can leave. You gotta fart and poo, and then they'll let you go home. So, I mean, it took me a while to do that, but, I mean, when I did it, they let me go, and I was eating solid foods. That was another thing my surgeon wanted me to do. He wanted me to do all those 3 things, so last 2 days I was in there, I was eating solid food, so I was like, I want to go home. So, came home, and sucked. Couldn't sleep on my side, couldn't sleep in my bed. I had to sleep on the couch over there. And yeah, I was using a Euro. I finally worked it out. I used a Euro pillow to prop up on the arm of the couch, and I was able to maneuver myself to sleep on my side. So I was finally getting some good night rests. So I mean, I was able to shower when I got home, which was awesome. The steri strips came off in like 3 weeks after I was home, and pretty much I was able to eat and when I wanted, so it was kind of cool. But lately, I've been having a few Crohn symptoms come back. One of the things is I am going to the bathroom more than once a day, and if you have Crohn's, you know what I mean by going to the bathroom. And also, I did have blood in the toilet, and I don't know if that was from a hemorrhoid or not, but I had blood in the toilet once. And also, I don't know if I'm the only one who has this, or I don't know if any other cronies have it, but I get cracks in the corners of my mouth. And, I mean, I never had that until I got Crohn's. So, I always think it's a side effect. So, I'm back on Immuran. I talked to my GI doctor, and he's got me back on Immuran as a preventative measure to help me stay in remission as long as possible. But, I mean, I'm hoping it'll last a year. I'm hoping it'll actually last more, because I don't want to go back to that, and I just kind of want to stay in the positive and keep on being healthy and just keep everything away, because I don't want it to come back, and I'm afraid it'll come back, and I'm afraid it's more the pain, actually. It's the pain that you experience, and I once described it as, imagine someone is taking a hot poker and repeatedly stabbing it into your abdomen. because, I mean, I get all, when I would be sick, everyone would be like, oh, I'm so jealous, I wish I had Crohn's, then I could be skinny like you. Okay, I will give you my Crohn's. I will give you everything that involves with my Crohn's. I would give anything to have my life back. But I mean, in a way I do. I have some symptoms, but I mean, these are ones I can deal with. They're slightly annoying, but I can deal with them. The whole pain, I can't deal with it. It's just too tremendous, that the pain that we have to suffer through. And as cronies, you know. So, I'm looking forward to the future, and I'm hoping I can stay in remission as long as possible. I haven't had any setbacks, I haven't had any pain. I'm just very, very thankful for everything. I'm very thankful for my family, my friends on the Crohn's disease social network, and I think it was really them who helped me decide to do the surgery. I mean, I don't know, if I didn't have anybody to talk to who had Crohn's like me, I think my vanity would have overwon, and who knows, I could have starved to death. I mean, I was 106 pounds the day they weighed me right before I went into surgery, and I'm 5'6", so, you know, that's a little bad. So I'm very thankful to have them to talk to, because, like I said, I don't have anyone to relate. I have friends and family who want to listen and care, but, I mean, they don't know. They don't have a chronic illness, chronic pain disease, and so I want to thank everyone on there, and especially Jason and Justin, and I just want you all to know, if you have Crohn's, like I said in the first video, you're not alone. There's a bunch of us you can talk to. If you go on to www.crohnsdiseasesn.com, you can join there and have discussions with us. We have a chat going on. We have forums. We have blogs, yada, 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 the whole shebang. And so, you know, you'll have someone to talk to. And I'm so glad I did. Because, like I said, vanity would have won out. I don't want a scar, but, you know, a scar is better than being dead, or something more terrible could have happened, which, I don't know, you know, it could have got to the point and I could have ended up with a bag. So, I'm glad. I'm glad I have people to talk to. And so this is kind of one of the reasons I'm making this vlog, because, you know, I found out about this on Twitter. But maybe some of you people don't have Twitter. Maybe you're looking up Crohn's videos on YouTube. So hopefully you'll find this one and be like, there's a website for Crohn's. It supports us. Awesome. So yeah. So I'm glad I can eat popcorn again. I'm glad I can eat peanuts again. I'm glad I can eat sushi again, because it has sesame seeds and that screwed me up. So I'm just glad. And I'm back to a healthy weight of 135 pounds now. And it's been, like I said, 17 weeks since my surgery. So, I guess I'll show it. What the hell? I'll show my scar. Let's see. So, let's see. All the way from my belly button, bottom, to the top of my lady zone. And yep. So, that's it. And, I mean, I can deal with that. Alright. Until the next video, I will say goodbye.